Hi there, welcome back to 7th Crown Tarot. My name's Louise and I serve as a spiritual channel in order to connect you with your higher self and your higher timeline. I do this by drawing some tarot cards and giving you a nice little reading here. So without further ado, let's get started. Angels, spirits, and guides, what is it that my collective here needs to know? What is it that my collective here needs to know today? I hope you guys had a great weekend. I did some cooking. What did I make? Oh, I made a tomato soup. And in the beginning of the weekend, I think on Friday, I made some pizza. Like pizza dough, and then, yeah, it's really good. I definitely recommend pizza as like a beginner cook thing if you've never made it. We have 2 cards out here. Any other messages, Spirit? You started out strong with the Empress, actually. And I know this isn't the Taurus card, but before I knew the meanings of some of the cards, like I really felt like major Taurus energy from that card. But I'm also feeling like, oh, you've got a lot of conflicting energy here. So you got the Empress and the 9 of Swords, and then it kind of continues on with those kinds of cards later on in your reading, but let's start out with that. So I feel this is you. You're really stuck in your thoughts right now about either things that have happened in the past and are troubling you, or things that are currently unresolved and are troubling you. It could be things that are making you feel impoverished in one way or another. It could be like, your actual physical abundance, or it could be like physical circumstances. Another thing that could be is like, maybe you feel like you're just not up to par for whatever it is that you actually do deserve. And there's something around you, it could be around you. I feel like there's something around you that's like triggering you into making you feel that way, which is totally normal, because you're actually showing up as the Fool and the Queen of Wands in the center of your reading. So you're going into a new chapter of your life where you're healed and acting from a healed perspective, like a higher perspective of people that hurt other people. That's the big part of this. It's a big message that is coming through right now, that you need to heal these past situations where people have tried to keep you trapped in your thoughts. They could have been very manipulative people that tried to make you feel also bad for being the optimistic, fiery, rebellious person that you are. Because we do have the Queen of Wands. You could be an Aries. You don't have to be. You could be any fire sign. But again, you don't have to be. Some people were trying to take away your voice. But or also blocking intuitive hits for you. Blocking intuitive hits for you when it came to their relationship with you. And not allowing you to see the holes in the things that they were saying by covering it up with emotions that they would make you try to feel. And Spirit led you out of this. Spirit has always led you out of this. You've had many situations like this. And right now, you're at this state of mind, it seems that you've had so many disappointments that it's kind of starting to perpetuate like a wheel inside of your head. Like these wheels of pain keep turning in your head, and now you're kind of expecting it, which is completely normal. But there's a new chapter here opening up for you when it comes to abundance and when it comes to a happy new future, where that stuff is just a thing of the past. But in order to get there, you really have to heal this way of thinking. What specifically is it that my collective needs to heal so that we can help them move on from this chapter? Could you please clarify this Seven of Pentacles? You got the Seven of Pentacles, by the way. So what I'm getting from this Seven of Pentacles right now at the moment, and we'll clarify just to make sure, is that you are blocking your abundance in this way. It's almost like some sort of like poverty mentality of, you know what, okay, I'm being called to look at this card that's at the top of my other deck. So this could be you at this moment. You could identify with a growth mindset. Maybe you're like, yeah, I'm like super growth mindset, whatever the term would be. But this is the opposite. This is fixed mindset. And there could be, and in other words, this is like poverty mindset. So internally, this looks like all or nothing thinking, avoiding challenges, refusing feedback or criticism, which could or could not be true, but this could also be like being overly critical of yourself. And when you're overly critical of yourself, it's like it's not true either, you know, because it's not a balanced way to criticize. In other words, that's what that point I feel like is for you. A focus on proving yourself, feeling threatened by others or in danger when you're around other people, not being able to accept failure, so like a fear of failure, right? Which I definitely resonate with that. When there's something unfamiliar, hesitation creeps in and takes over, and feeling like the all or nothing thinking that talent is a destination. I either have it or I'm doomed. So part of that might have resonated with you. And obviously, I'm not saying that all of those are you, but maybe that's helpful to try to think about like which one of those you could get rid of. And in contrast, growth mindset. I hope this isn't too boring, but I'll just list off a few of these. Talent isn't enough. It requires work. But you can also step outside of your comfort zone, be inspired by others, focus on the process, embrace constructive feedback, obviously, again, balanced approach, and challenges equals opportunity. I think that you're sick of all of these challenges. You're sick of all the challenges, and you're just like, how many more challenges do I have to go through in order to like get my abundance? Like, I feel internally like this abundant, beautiful, incredible person, and how do I get out of this? So is there anything specific that you would recommend for my collective? There's a lot of thinking here. I feel like there's a lot of thinking here and a lot of feeling about those thoughts. About stability specifically. Like a fear of not being able to stay stable. Maybe even in this future thing that you're stepping into, and this could be like a future career, could be maybe you're planning on moving somewhere and you're like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford the home, the payments, all the things that go along with like that new move, whatever the move is, right? I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it, basically. And Spirit wants to tell you that, yeah, you can handle it, but in order to be able to handle it, you need to put down all your worries eventually here and in the near future, and stop focusing on the things that you don't want and focus on the things that you do want. Because right now I see this emphasis on there's something trying to come in here really hard for you. Like it's really pushing its way to be birthed. And you're kind of like resisting it and pushing it away because of trauma, or maybe you're just used to having to accept less. You're used to having your standards super low, and this happens. This absolutely happens. And Spirit wants you to charge forward towards the things that you want, even if it means that you're going to get disappointed. Because 11:11 on the clock, as I look at it, you're heading into like a portal, right? And this keeps popping up. You're heading into a portal. And you're heading into it kind of recklessly, because you got the Fool and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is Leo energy. So you could be a Leo, but the Leo is like the center of attention. And also you got the Queen of Wands. So it's like this like naive, super energetic, this is what you're supposed to embody, by the way. Naive, super energetic, out there, expansive, explosive, making a decisive action, you know? Like, I mean, look how fired up I'm getting right now. This is the energy that Spirit wants you to feel. And that's why I'm feeling it right now, so that I can give it to you and you can kind of get a feel for what it's supposed to feel like. Is there anything else here that would... What can we focus on? Whoa, wow, that jumped out. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Could you clarify that, Spirit? Sun. Again, we have Leo energy. So, strong Leo energy. I'm confused about that. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles, upright, is generational wealth. It could be traditions. Just let me think about this for a moment. Accepting something that's already yours. Let me think about an analogy for this. It's like, it's almost like you're about to get married and people are bringing all these gifts to you for getting married, you know, because you've gone through the necessary steps in order to create this bond with another person. In this case, it's yourself. And you've gone through so many challenges together and you've built that bond stronger, and you know, now you're ready to finally take that step. And you're rejecting it. That's what you're doing. You're rejecting it because you're afraid of the past times that you've stepped up to the plate and been rejected. So there's a fear of rejection here. Your fear is a fear of rejection. So you're hiding behind acting on things that might not necessarily pan out the way that you want, so that it kind of just doesn't work out. And this might not be resonating, but give me a moment, because I can feel that it's not resonating. But there's something here about that. It's like, it's almost like spreading yourself too thin. And spreading yourself too thin is like setting yourself up for failure. So I'm going to actually pull out my my special deck here that I made. If you're new here, this is actually a deck I made myself. So it's got some interesting cards in here. So could you clarify this stream of thought? Okay, grief and Jupiter. Could be a Sagittarius. But Sagittarius and Jupiter, they're very like, it's a very like expansive energy. It's one that explores. Jupiter is also the planet of abundance. Knowing what you truly want, right? So grief helps you to know what you truly want, or what you truly wanted. It's like this idea of, sorry, I'm having difficulties with this because there's so many like distracting thoughts. My neighbors are doing something and it's like distracting me. So it's like maybe you're distracting yourself at this moment from the things that you want because deep down you don't feel deserving of them, or maybe you feel like grief in some sort of relationship that you recently lost, because there is parent-child here. There could also be like a dynamic here that fell through. Could you please clarify this, Spirit? Three of Cups. Yes! Something fell through here with a group of people or one other person, but I do feel like it was a group of people. Someone could be having a really difficult time seeing you glow up, essentially, and reach success. And it's causing them a lot of sadness for some reason. I'm not going to assume why. I have a feeling, but I'm not going to just assume. Let's see. Why are they feeling this way? Why are they feeling this way? Part of it is because they want to assume a dominant control. There's like a dominant control here, and in the beginning we did have this stream of thought that happened about people controlling you in the past through your thoughts and your emotions. And I feel like this person is still kind of in your circle, and you're having to let them go. And so there's a lot of sadness around that. But as you let go of that, we have Cancer energy here. And the Empress kind of has that similar energy. It's like everything starts to abundantly appear as you heal through this time where things are like really sad and you have to let go of this person that means you ill will, basically. They're not good for you. And they're kind of out to get you, but not really in like a not really out of, it's like an immature energy because we have irresponsible here. And that gives me like immature energy. So this person could have parentified you and tried to like get you to assume that role where it's like, well, I'm not responsible for my emotions because I can't be, because, well, you should be taking responsibility for that. Just kind of weird, but and my neighbors are taking down like these old dead vines. So maybe that's what this relationship is like in your life. It's like it's died out already, and you're seeing signs of the fact that it's died out. But it's really difficult for you to accept that. Also, we have Taurus energy here, which is very slow moving. The type of energy that this person gave you was, it was like crumbs. They would like give you crumbs and then call it something, or pretend that it was something big. And it kept you small because you had to shrink to the size of that, if that makes sense. Anything else, Spirit? I hope this message, this channel is making sense. This reading, because like, I don't know, it feels very like scrambled. Communication. Look at that. That's so funny. This person could be trying to confuse you at this time, or like make it difficult for you to properly communicate how you feel, or maybe they have communication issues. You know, if they're like kind of a kid internally, then yeah, they're gonna struggle with communication because they never learned how to properly communicate. And you know, that comes for a variety of reasons. It depends on the person's unique circumstances. Differing values, suspicious, bird, and rage. Don't give this energy, because this could be popping up in a few different kinds of relationships right now. This could be popping up in like one way, but then also like it feels very similar and it's coming from another person. Don't give it much energy, because rage is like, rage isn't really the emotion that you want to be feeling right now. Communication and rage, yeah. So like, see what I mean? Like, it was right beside it. Grief and rage are right beside it. And it's blocking you from your freedom. You got a bird right beside it. It's blocking you from your freedom and blocking you from taking that leap of faith into the unknown. Because you're really rewriting something here. It could even be in your family line. You could be a generational curse breaker. And you've strayed so far away from your family's values, or maybe this group's values. It could be someone else, right? Because I'm reading for many people, that it's infuriating now to try to communicate with these people. Again, we got the Leo. So this is, you're probably a Leo. This is the third or fourth time I'm getting Leo in this reading, and also optimism right above it. There is a huge energy of optimism here on your end, and it's very productive. Where else did we get optimism? I'm being called to look for that. Oh, the Fool. The Fool energy is an energy of optimism. He takes the leap of faith optimistically, knowing that he's going to be caught by spirit. And that's what you're kind of being called to do right now. To do the things that you really love to do. Because whatever it is that you love to do is going to free you and bring you lots of peace. And a lot of people are going to be interested in it, because it is a genuine expression of who you are. And it doesn't like, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to sacrifice a part of yourself or any part of yourself in order to be this person. It's just like when you are this individual, like even if people try to come up against you, like they stand no chance. I think it's the Seven of Wands. I think that's the Seven of Wands. There's this one card in tarot that reminds me of this. But it's basically like you're on a higher ground and no one can attack you from this higher ground because you're acting from your authentic self. And you're a protected individual when you're acting from your authentic self. God will always catch you. That's why you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid of responsibilities too. Like I feel like there's this huge emphasis on like being responsible, doing the responsible thing. And yeah, you can balance, but any final messages, Spirit? Let's grab the other deck. I feel like that one's not really wanting to talk. Interesting. These two, ooh. Doubled. You're doubling your outcome here. Whatever you imagine is coming towards you, it's going to be twice as big. And you're meeting a lot of opposite energy right now. You got Sagittarius, Virgo, and Aries. But it's weird because, like, okay, so the Temperance energy, it's like, it's very balanced, but it's also very explorative. Like, you're really putting yourself out there after a time of, like, well, hermit mode. Like, you're no longer keeping yourself away from the people that are waiting for you. Because I'm getting there's, like, a group of people that are waiting for you to speak. Speak up against the wrong. Speak up against things that are not serving the collective and making people upset. You're nurturing a huge group of people. And it's through very interesting ideas that are very unique to you because of the things that you've been through, the people that you've dealt with, and you're underestimating the value of that right now. It's weird, I was going to cut the reading off. Well, not cut it off, but, you know, end it. But it feels like there's more coming in now. It's like a second wind. Which is... that's a concept that we say when we... if you're not familiar with it and you're from a different country, getting a second wind is like when you run out of energy while doing something, but then after a short period of time, you gain a burst of energy to start doing something again. I'm sure they have different sayings for that in other languages. If you have a saying for it in a different language, definitely drop that in the comments. I would be interested. Page of Swords. There's a lot of pages here. You're making people... oh, okay, this is interesting. You have a lot of people coming towards you that want to learn from you. That's what I'm getting from all these pages. And also, you got a lot of court cards here. You got so many court cards in your reading. There's a lot of people. You're just surrounded by a lot of people, and this could be very intimidating because this is exactly what I was going to say. Oh my goodness. People could be making a lot of false assumptions about you. You look one way, you look very innocent and maybe even childish, but the opposite is also underneath the surface. Like you're very fiery, energetic, and responsible. You're somebody who's dependable. You're very compassionate and grounded. You've taken on all of these qualities through the things that you've been through. And I'm getting like a performer energy here. You could be called towards doing some sort of performance. It could be online because we did get long distance. But this is something that's going to last a very long time because we also got gray hair. And yeah, and professional. I got this feeling of like maybe people are sending you a lot of jealousy at this time. And what can we say to that, Spirit? Because I feel like there's something to be said there. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles was Virgo. Having patience and understanding with people that that you trigger, basically. That's what I'm getting from that. Because you have a huge advantage and you need to stay humble at this time. Having this kind of advantage that you have right now is not something that everybody gets. And a lot of people forget or just completely don't understand or live in regret that you have to work to get this. At least to where you are. You've worked to become the person that you are. And yes, it's causing a lot of jealousy, but also having compassion for the people that have a difficult time, like self-reflecting, like what an awful way to live. To never be able to go internally because there's so much fear there. Like, I almost want to cry. Maybe you make people cry. Because they feel like, oh man, this is such a heavy energy. There's a lot of emotion here. I think a lot of people are very proud of you, although maybe they don't show it outward. They're very proud of the fact that you've built up this success and that you've got people coming towards you that actually genuinely love you. And they love you for you. And there could also be an energy around you from the past that didn't think that you would ever succeed, unfortunately. Because their idea of the world is very one-sided, of like, it's very old school, of, you know, like, you know, you go to school, you get a job, and then you have kids, you retire, the end. You know? But you're living outside of that. And it's unfathomable to some people, especially the older generation, that a person could make a living this way. Even though, like, we see people do this, it's become more prevalent now with the internet. Whatever. You have a very strong intuition. You could be a tarot reader, like me. You could be using your intuition very strongly in your life, and you just kind of know what's for you and what isn't for you. And yeah, but now I genuinely feel like we've read everything we need to read. So if you liked the reading, definitely leave a comment if you feel called to it. Like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I also offer private readings if you want a private reading of your own. And also, I have some lives that I do at the end of the month now, and that should be posted up in my bio at the front page of my YouTube. So if you're interested in joining a live and possibly getting a free reading, no guarantee, it'll be like a short reading for a question you have, join us. The next one is on the 30th of November, so that's in 6 days. So that should be really exciting, and I hope to see you all there, and if not, it was so lovely having you here. I hope you have a good morning, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye!